Hey, Jalen, take us through Doug Pederson telling you the news that you'd be starting, and what was your initial reaction to it?
Obviously, it's a great opportunity. And Coach talked to both of us, and it's a great opportunity moving forward. So we're focused on things we have to do this week, and I just want to take advantage of the opportunity.
Guy who was once benched in a national championship game by Nick Saban for Tua Tagovailoa now enters the fray for the Philadelphia Eagles under far less glamorous circumstances, because the Eagles are just trying to win a football game, Chris. Look, I've been thinking about this a lot from every possible angle, and there is, I think, a certain basic appeal to the idea that if folks in Philly are calling for Carson Wentz's head, fine. Let's see what Jalen Hurts can do with this mess that's around him. And I think we may quickly find out that it's not like Hurts is going to do any better, even with a week to prepare or 2 or 3 games in a row where he plays. It's not going to be a dramatic improvement. If it is, great. But I think we're going to find out it's not going to be a dramatic difference.
I think that's really probably part of the part of the equation here, or the thought process, I should say, for what Philadelphia was doing. I mean, one, I think, they're looking at it like we need to do something. The offense is not good. They're hearing it. Everybody, national media, Philadelphia, everybody. It's Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, all of that issues. So I think they know that. And then the fact that Carson Wentz, is, like I said earlier this week, a beaten down puppy almost, to where they go like exactly what you said. Let's throw him out there. Maybe he gives us a spark. But at the very least, with the way we've been and as crappy as we've been, we're probably going to be crappy, and everybody else will realize, hey, it's not Carson Wentz, and this quarterback didn't make us any better either. I would think that was part of the thought process. They're really in a no-lose situation as far as, making this move and seeing where it goes for the most part. I guess there is a little lose part of the situation if it goes one way.
Center Jason Kelce chimed in on the situation on Wednesday, perhaps his most significant comment since the day that he was dressed like someone guarding the doors to the Emerald City. Here's Jason Kelce on the quarterback situation.
It's kind of hard to believe that we're at this point now, to be honest with you. This season has not gone the way any of us obviously anticipated or would like it to have gone. But, sitting here 3-8-1, you got to do something. You got to try and make a change or whatever. And, obviously, the offense has been absolutely terrible, the last 4 weeks in particular. So, I have no doubt that this is not the final to the Carson Wentz story or saga. I will always have confidence in him as a person and him as a player. At the end of the day, this is ultimately a culmination of a lot of failures on offense. I don't know that the Jalen Hurts pick is a huge part of that. I think that this more comes down to, a failure of pretty much every position, including the coaches, to facilitate a functioning offense. And that's the biggest story here.
Wow.
Well said.
You rarely hear that kind of analysis and candor from inside the house. Hey, Doug Pederson, the phone call is coming from inside the house. I mean, that is accurate, but it's also got kind of a raw, painful feel to it to hear it coming from a guy who knows.
It does. A guy who knows, a guy who's got, all the, stripes and badges and honors and everything in the locker room to be like, hey, he's a stud. He's he's one of the best centers we've had in football the last 10 years. So, and there's no, you could tell with the way he's talking there, and then there's no nonsense. He's not playing games with anybody. He's just shooting it straight. He's been around. He's been on a Super Bowl team. He realizes, like he said, it's bad at every level. And he's seen Carson Wentz carry the team last year, and he was there with Carson Wentz in 2017. So he's not going to give up on a guy where he's seen how good he can be when it's all rolling. And I appreciated that whole snippet there. That was really well said and well done by him.
He's one of the few that can do it, too, because he's contemplated retirement and decided to keep going, and he clearly falls into the Danny Glover lethal weapon. I'm getting too old for this.
It does, yes.
You know what? So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Cut him because he was honest about what's going on? From a fan perspective, from a media perspective, it's refreshing to hear someone basically confirm what we've all been thinking and seeing, even though it's not all that difficult to see it. A lot of times the people on the inside are in denial. And maybe the best way to turn it around, Chris, is to recognize it. I don't know that you can do anything about it. It reminds me of the Bears situation when Matt Nagy talked several weeks ago after they lost to the Rams with the defense of Chicago scoring more points than the offense in that game. It's not like you can just wave a magic wand and make it better. You're limited by the guys you have.
Yes, there's not going to be some magical transformation. You know, maybe we see a few plays in the game where they catch the Saints off guard this week because it's a new Jalen Hurts running play or something like that. But I got a hard time even believing that's going to catch the Saints off guard because they get to see guys like Taysom Hill in practice all the time and probably have a pretty good understanding of how a quarterback run type offense will work. Let alone, what people got to realize too is this offense is not great and doesn't lend itself to a lot of open receivers to begin with, and now you have a quarterback who you're going to rein it in a little bit. You got to rein it in because, he hasn't played this year, and he is a rookie. He's not going to be able to do some of the things Carson Wentz does at the line of scrimmage and all of that. So, that's another factor in this too. So I'm interested to just see how the offense looks and where it goes from here. But like I said, I don't think there was any bad side. I guess the only negative maybe for Philadelphia is what? Jalen Hurts does really good, and now we go into the offseason and go, wait, the Eagles look pretty good with Jalen Hurts, and now you have a real issue. And that's where maybe the worst thing that can happen to the Eagles in this situation.
They already have a real issue.
Yeah.
And the question is, how many changes can be made, will be made after this season, and how much of it will be 2021 hot seat time for everyone involved. But it has felt in recent weeks like it's moving towards some sort of finality, especially because, and what team did we talk? Where was I? I was talking about this on Chicago radio yesterday about the Bears. We're at the point where, and I think this applies in both cities, that the silence of ownership becomes deafening. Remember last year about this time, Lions ownership came out and said, Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are safe.
Right.
Like, if you don't get that message soon from Jeffrey Lurie in Philly or someone named McCaskey, whether it's George or someone else, or Ted Phillips in Chicago, you really start to wonder what's going to happen when the season ends. That we're getting to the point where you need to hear that people are safe, or you start thinking maybe people aren't safe.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, Chicago's one I'm going to have my ear to because that I think is like a real possibility. As much as things might be unraveling in Philadelphia, I just don't think you could be thinking about firing this regime yet. I don't. I think this is one thing where what they've done,
Jeffrey Lurie needs to say it.
Right.
He needs to come out and say it.
I agree. No doubt about it.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.